Kuhn is the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the ball. Pyle trying to make his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it like that. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Wolf Pack, what's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, RotoStreetJournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves here with your Week 2 sit-start preview. All your questions, all the news you need to know, and we're getting some breaking stuff as we're getting live here. So tons to cover really quickly, but as you guys know, your questions are the lifeblood of this show. We're going to get to those within 20, 25 minutes as we line up. I see the likes, the hearts already coming in, guys. As you're coming in, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, shares, retweets, get us out to more people. It would mean the world. But I'm always joined by my co-host over there, Mr. CJay himself. How you doing, brother?
So excited.
The enthusiasm continues to radiate from your face. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a tough week one. But, you know, it feels like fall outside, and I'm feeling optimistic about this week.
Absolutely. And last week, breaking up news. It is beautiful outside. Another great day to sit in front of the TV for 7 straight hours of commercial-free football of these lovely New England days. But last week, we did tell you live, pick up Eli Mitchell. When we got the Sermon news, we heard Eli Mitchell was running. Sadly, I didn't get off in time. I don't know if you got off in time, CJay, to pick him up. We signed off right at like 12:59. So we sacrifice ourselves for you, Wolfpack. But that's why we go through the news. We're going to give you potential pickups and things of that nature to track, to get ahead of the crowd. And then we'll get into all your sit starts as we go. As always, as the questions get built up, as the likes and the audience is coming in here, we always love to start with our Thursday night football takeaways. And there was, for what looked like to be a shitty game, I mean, that ended up being another blast. I'm loving these Thursday night, Sunday night action so far. Monday night, like crazy games. What were your thoughts on that game, CJay?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same as Monday night. It kind of started off slow and kind of gross, but Thursday night's Thursday night. It always is gross, but it always ends up being decent.
Right. A Giants and football team give us a barn burner down to the wire there. I know Hills was pretty upset. My girlfriend, the Giants fan, like 3 times they should have clinched that game and could not put it away. But that's the life of being a horrible fan for a horrible team. So that's what you get. One of the takeaways, though, I thought Sterling Shepard, target hog. He's still out there in over half the leagues at this point. Should definitely be rostered. 9 of 10 targets. Back to, I think you wrote about him yesterday, right, CJay? Like the last 4 games, hasn't he seen like 10 or more in, I think, 4 straight games, something crazy like that?
Yeah, I forget the stats off the top of my head, but I think he's even had over 20 PPR points in every game of the last 4 games.
It's wild, absolutely wild. So make sure if he's out there, I think it's well worth the fab bid. I didn't believe it in week 1. I was like, all right, Sterling Shepard, big day, whatever. Led the team in target yards, had a TD. Callaway will get his legs under him. It's going to flip. But no, he again, 10 targets, 94 yards, 9 catches. That seems like it's going to be steady. That rapport is very strong. I also thought Barclay's looking like a great buy low. He only had, 8 points on the day, but nothing too crazy there. You love to see, though, 84% of the snaps. That's the huge thing. After playing right around half in week 1, that suggests he's fully healthy. The team wouldn't have had him out there for that long if they're still kind of easing him in. Didn't, again, have the best of days, 13 carries, 2 catches, so 15 touches. You're used to 25 touch Saquon Barkley, but if he's still in there in 84% of the snaps, he looked good on that long run. The burst seems back. I'd love to buy low, especially before this week where he's facing Atlanta. I think most people are going to be aware of that, but I think the price you could pay would be great. So buy him low on Saquon Barkley, maybe on Gibson. I know our writer, Kendall, had a great article on him. 13 carries, 69 yards, 2 catches, 4 yards, but out-touched in the receiving game by McKissick, 83 receiving yards, just getting the goal line score, which was a nightmare. I mean, that's the worst when McKissick gets a touchdown. You think Barber being gone, it would all go to Gibson, but nope. McKissick gets the goal line score, so no touchdowns yet on the season. Are you hitting the panic button on Gibson? Are you nervous about this, CJay?
Yeah, I mean, the snap percentage is there, but what also annoyed me was at the end of the game when the Redskins had to go down the field, it was McKissick the whole way down. Like, that could have been an easy, 3 or 4 receptions for Gibson, but I don't know. I mean, right now I'd probably pass on him, but I see Kendall's point of view.
Yeah, I'm much more likely to buy low on Barkley right now. That's who I'd much rather have season long at this point. So yeah, ultimately, I don't know. It's making me nervous. And I tweeted out yesterday. It got like a pretty big reaction. At this point, it's abundantly clear we should have all been taking Joe Mixon ahead of Gibson, which I wasn't doing in the preseason. I'm kind of confessing my sins. A lot of people smash agreeing, like, yes, it's clear. But a lot of people being like, you're nuts, week one overreactionary. I'm just going with what I see. And it's very clear Mixon's the workhorse and Gibson's more in this timeshare stuck in. Last but not least, Terry McLaurin, 14 targets, 11 catches, 107 yards, and a TD. Holy shit, another great performance. QB proof. James Bradbury, good lockdown corner, clearly had nothing on Terry McLaurin. So he's smashing. Not that anyone was benching him last week, but still, just like a reminder of how damn good this guy is.
I don't think the drop-off's that far from Fitzpatrick to Heineke. Heineke's kind of like a gunslinger. He's fun to watch.
He was very fun to watch. And I said before the Thursday night show, good stash. If you're QB needy, consider giving this guy a look. He can sling the rock. He's looking solid. And he came out and did just that, 320 yards, a couple TDs. Liked what I saw from Heineke in 2 QB leagues. If you're desperate, the guy also has some rushing ability. Interesting pickup as well. So that's all we got for Thursday night. Let us know if you had any Thursday night heroes or takeaways yourselves. But to cover the news, and there's not a lot of it this week, so we're going to be able to get right to your questions. We already see 28 of them. Last week, we did a record over 200 questions between YouTube and Facebook. I'd love to get there again. We also got up to 50 likes. So, again, if you're just getting in and you can get this a thumbs up, it would mean the world. Get us out to more people. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Josh Jacobs is out against the Steelers. This isn't new news. It was out about Friday. The thing that is news is Peyton Barber is expected to handle some of the lead back duties. I don't know what some of the lead back duties means. And to be honest, I don't give a shit. If the fact that he's even involved, like Drake would have been an okay volume bet, but still I was like, against the Steelers. That defense looked ferocious against the Bills. Never mind the freaking Raiders. Like, my answer to this backfield is no. Like, just don't. There's something better out there. There has to be. I don't know. What's your approach to this, CJ?
Yeah, I'm staying away from this. Drake's going to be like 14 carries for like 41 yards, and it's just going to be disgusting.
Gross. Useless. Disgusting. And yeah, the fact that Barber's even being mentioned, it's an opportunity growth for Barber. We really like him. We think he's a heck of a backfield. Just shut up. I don't want to hear it. Just avoid that backfield for sure. One note that I do think is important, though, Will Fuller being out. He was looking like he's going to come back from his suspension in a potential shootout here coming up with the Bills. And we know Josh Allen, this is a crazy stat. 25% of his career TDs have come against the Dolphins. He just smashes these guys. I think he's never thrown for like less than 3 or something of that nature on TDs against them, at least in the last few games against them. So he smashes them, which should, again, I mean, this is a different defense. They look pretty good against the Pats. I wouldn't be shocked after they struggled the Bills last week if they came out hot, though, and really pounded it onto the Dolphins, which now no Will Fuller. It was looking, that was all to say, positive game script, lots of throwing, lots of catch-up duty. I think that now goes to Jalen Waddle, who becomes a much more intriguing player, only 4,500 on DraftKings, a solid flex play if you're looking for someone. I still worry about Parker. I think Tre'Davious White's going to be on him. That makes me a little bit nervous, but Waddle, I could see himself having a blow-up day. Do you have any interest in Waddle? What are your thoughts, Siege?
I love Waddle. And I love how they use all of his, just everything about him. It's like the short passes, the yak, everything. He can do it all. He's so underrated. We were really low on him. I feel like we didn't write anything on him in the offseason for some reason.
He ended up being I was plus 20 on my final big board.
Oh, you were?
He was in the investing guide too as one of my targets, but there was no free articles on him. So those of you that bought the investing guide, hopefully you went in on Waddle as I said he's one of the best 9th, 10th round picks. But yes, he was not on the main site. We had to think everything on everybody else, but no real Waddle coverage. I like him a lot. I got a question, a really tough one, Callaway versus Waddle. In my gut, I really think Callaway's blowing up today, but the far safer play in that situation would be Waller. He's not going to lose.
Go Waddle there.
Yeah, Waddle was not going to lose the week. He's going to definitely see some volume, and he also offers the blow-up deep potential too. So he's the safer play. I would recommend him to 99% of people, but at my 1%, especially DraftKings GPPs, I love Callaway today. I think he's going to blow up. We've got some updates on the 49ers after last week's just ridiculous. At least we knew going into the game Trey Sermon was a healthy scratch, but the Aiyuk situation kind of came out of left field, and the reporter all casually all week, oh, yeah, it was clear Sherfield was just the better player. Great, thanks for doing your job in training camp and letting us know this was happening, Mr. Matt McCicchio or whatever his name was.
Oh, he's the worst.
just the worst. He quickly became my least favorite beat writer. Next week, Grant Cohen's going to be joining the show. One of my favorite beat writers out there for the 49ers. He came on our show, said Eli Mitchell was looking better way back in July. So he had the scoop. He was reporting it, but nobody else was. So I can't wait to catch up with Grant, see what he's thinking. But the update so far, Ian Rapsheet today tweeting out that Eli Mitchell is expected to be featured and to handle the main load, and Sermon will just pick up mop-up duties. Now, who knows? I take anything that comes from Kyle Shanahan's mouth with an enormous dump truck of salt at this point. Like I can't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. Still, it's obviously it's something you'd want to hear as an Eli Mitchell owner. You know, it's something comforting in that sense. I still wouldn't like bang the table and be like, Eli Mitchell.
Also, I don't even know if I want to hear that at this point.
Right. Yeah, it's a jinx, you know, it's like the curse. But it's tough. So we'll see. I think it does make you feel a little bit more confident, Eli Mitchell. And should he get 20 carries, he's going to have a good day. Anybody in this offense getting carries, you could put CJay back there with a helmet on in that zone blocking scheme. You're getting up there for probably 95 yards with TD, maybe even more. Yeah, even at your not prime CJay, even this CJay right now. In high school CJay, you could run for like 150 in this scheme. But
easily.
I'm still wary though. Like none of us would be shocked if Sermon comes out with 20 carries today. Like the first drive, Eli Mitchell's featured. What if he has 5 carries, goes for 10 yards? They put Sermon in for his drive, and he goes all down the field. You know Shanahan's not going to get away from the hot hand at this point. So I would say it's comforting, but still there's tons of risk to Eli Mitchell. I wouldn't overrate this news.
I don't know though, because like Rapsheet was the same guy that was fed like the Mac Jones stuff pre-draft, the Justin Fields stuff, Trey, and it's just
They got it all wrong, right? So Shanahan just play games through Rapsheet, just a little puppet. Exactly. I like it, CJ. It's a good point. I don't know if I want to trust that. Meanwhile, on the Aiyuk situation, Kyle Shanahan did say he would have got his spot completely back if not for a hamstring injury. He planned on rotating early. And then now we get a big reaction. Things are a bigger deal because of fantasy football. I do love that Shanahan's kind of embracing his villain role. Like he knows he's fucking everybody up, and he loves to just embrace that. I kind of respect it in that sense, him playing the fantasy villain. But it's not fun to make lineup decisions. I'm definitely on the train of I'll wait and see it from Aiyuk. I'd rather see it on my bench than have him in my lineup for another dud. I can't trust him quite yet, unless you're really digging in the weeds for garbage. But I'd go like KJ Hamler, one of my favorite streams, 6% rostered right now, blow up speed, 4.32. Like that's a great streamer in my opinion. And if you guys have questions about, KJ Hamler, I'm very intrigued to see how these Broncos pan out with no Jerry Jeudy. I'm very high on them. They're facing the Jags. Like anybody's going to blow up against that team. So I'm keeping Aiyuk on the bench. I'd play, again, Eli Mitchell, as we said, he's going to be featured. Okay, sure, maybe. Like, I'd probably have him in my lineup. I have Damien Harris versus Eli Mitchell as like a question for myself, my own team. Mm-hmm. I think I'm leaning Harris. What do you think, CJ?
That's tough, especially last week. So I feel like Harris would have been in the doghouse, but Ramondre Stevenson also fumbling kind of secured his job for another week or so. He should rumble against the Jets, but
I'm still monitoring though. And I think if you want to keep up a tab on like Mike Reese or someone, I'm just waiting for that like JJ Taylor's active and starting the game to come out. Like, and if that happens, smash JJ Taylor in all your leagues, get him in there. In terms of at least roster, because I love JJ Taylor. I think he's a stud. And if Harris fumbles again, like you'd have to have a very deep league to have the space for JJ Taylor right now. But if he's active today, it might more, a little speculation. Nobody would, I wouldn't be shocked if he's the number one pickup within the next week or two, should Harris fumble yet again. So keep that guy in mind, JJ Taylor. This one doesn't really matter because Pittman and Parris Campbell are expected to play. They're facing the Rams. You don't want anybody facing the Rams secondary, and certainly not those garbage receivers. This one is tricky, though, because Marquise Brown, questionable, and it's for tonight. So it's like, oh, do I hang out? He did practice limited on Friday. I'm guessing he's going to suit up. But again, the night game does add a little bit of risk to that. If you need a backup plan, Sammy Watkins is only 20% rostered right now. The immediate and obvious plug-in benefits if he's out. That would be perfect. If you have Marquise Brown, you can stash Watkins. I'd go for it. Other than that, if you're taking a big dice roll here for a guy that is also pretty boom bust himself, Quintez Cephus on Monday Night Football, he's 1% rostered for the Lions. Like that might be your backup plan, but that would be pretty horrible. He did catch a touchdown in week 1, had 6 targets, We also have, Tyrell Williams. He's doubtful. Khalif Raymond's questionable. Their receivers are destroyed and banged up right now. They're going to need to throw against Green Bay most likely if Rodgers has any kind of a spine. So there are Lions backup receivers that could potentially be in your lineup, but that's like we're week 2. Do you really need to go for that type of dice roll? Probably not.
What about one of the Chiefs receiver threes? The kind of that mess of like I don't know how much. I don't know what Hardman's ownership is, but I don't know.
I would, he got cut in a lot of leagues, so maybe Hardman's out there. Maybe you could go with DeMarcus, and go for a touchdown there as well. That's probably a better option than going for Quintus Sheffis or whatever his name is at this point. But yeah, I would say it's a situation to probably avoid unless you have Watkins as a direct correlation backup. Jamison Crowder is expected to play, but I'd say only Corey Davis is startable for those Jets. This does make it a little trickier path for Elijah Moore, who had some opportunities last week, didn't get it done. Certainly was one of our worst recommendations on the show. If it makes you guys feel better, I played him. Like whatever I recommend, I do. So I played him everywhere at DraftKings. I put him in my main lineup in my hometown league, and he obviously kicked me in the balls. So even if he kicked you guys in the ball, if it helps you guys feel comforted, my nuts were kicked by Elijah Moore. I like stashing him still. He played all the snaps. He was getting the deep looks, but it's going to be trickier now. So let's see how this situation plays out. Another disgusting nightmare. We're up to 52 questions, guys. I love it. Keep getting them in. This is we got 3 more notes to cover here, and then we're going to get right into your questions. But Ravens hot hand nightmare. According to Rappaport, they're just going to ride whoever gets hot. Now, that should play into that Tyson Williams' favor. He looked so much better than Latavius Murray. Was awesome in that first half. Loved what I saw. But then he missed a pass protection. We didn't see him again. So that's the risk there with him. The Chiefs gave up a ton of points to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, the second most in the league to running backs to start this year. Of course, that Cleveland attack is a team that's going to smash you on the ground. But they don't look like they have a good run D. They didn't last year. I do think that somebody will be viable tonight. My best guess is Tyson. It's still tricky to trust any of them with this type of situation. But if you want to roll the dice, I go for Tyson. Do you have any type of leanings in this backfield, CJ? It's tough.
I don't know. I was Team Latavius, but he did look pretty disgusting last week. I guess Tyson is going to get the first crack at it, but I'm not touching Bell or discussing Freeman or anyone else. It's just kind of – I love that I have Lamar in one league, and he's going to put up a ton of rushing points.
I'm with you. And again, Tyson did look good, genuinely looked like a good player, and the offense looked genuinely better with him in there. So if this is a true hot hand, if he gets the first crack, I wouldn't expect him to relinquish it unless he, again, misses pass protection. That's the risk. So
what's weird, though, is that he actually is supposed to – coming out, he was a great pass protector. I think he had one of the best pass protecting grades in college out of BFF.
That is wild. That's the irony right there. The reason he gets benched, at least he did some damage for his owner or his roster or his managers before he got benched there. All righty, we got Zach Moss. He's healthier, likely active today. The only real reason we put that on there is Singletary was a popular stream last week. He did fine. He always does pretty decent with the work. It's still low upside in such a pass-happy attack. Now it becomes you can't trust either of them. You can't play any of them. And last but not least, offensively, Justin Fields has been making wow plays throughout practice, earning more time today as the rumblings. He's going to see some more looks. I hope Andy Dalton throws an early interception and they just turn these keys over. What are they doing? I don't know. It's horrible. This offense will clearly be far more effective, especially given how bad their line is right now with a mobile quarterback that can move around, make some plays off script here. I hope he's playing the full game by the second half. We'll find out, but at least he'll be in more often. He's about 50% rostered right now, so he is still out there in half of leagues. I was taking him round 9, 10, and I keep him in all my until he plays. So much upside. The fastest 40 time of all time, besides only what's his name, Michael Vick and RG3. So there's clear Konami upside, clear great arm here. I love stashing him. Make sure you have him. And last but not least, just in the defensive injury front, Lattimore's a game time decision. For whatever reason, that secondary still killed it even when he was out. I don't know. They have nobody, but they still just locked down Aaron Rodgers. So who knows if that will end up mattering. The Vikings are slaughtered on defense. They're going to get slaughtered by Kyler Murray even more than they would have already. And the Cowboys D-line, they lost DeMarcus Lawrence. Brutal injury. They're one of their best pass rushers. And Randy Gregory was doubtful coming into this game. My guess is he's already been ruled out at this point. So with those guys toast, Justin Herbert should have all day behind that improved offensive line to carve up one of the worst secondaries in the entire league. So keep rolling your Chargers. keep rolling your Cowboys. That game is going to be putting up points. That's the best game to stack DFS-wise. I think that's everything, CJ. Did I miss any notes before we get to these questions?
No, I haven't gotten any. I haven't seen any alerts or anything, so we're good right now until inactives come up.
Yeah, and last week, as we saw, a lot of crazy inactives came last minute, so we'll be ready if anything does break here, and we'll give you the roster moves you got to make in order to. But guys, let's get to those questions. We're going to hit them all as we get to here. If you don't mind giving us a thumbs up, only 16 likes so far. We got to 50 last week. Would be greatly appreciated if you guys could give us a little bit of love as we get to your questions. Mr. D'India, start us off.
D'India, Christian Kirk over KJ Hambone, right? I like Hamler, but I don't know if I trust him quite yet.
D'India, I would go Kirk. Yes, they're both kind of blow-up plays. I'll go with the one attached to Kyler Murray, no doubt about it. Trying to remember who was the person kept calling out D'India last week. Hopefully you were watching with her. It was a great. Hopefully she's here again today. Wondering if you'll ever get a date again in your life, D'India, was the most popular question we got throughout the day. But yeah, I go Kirk here. D'India, if you're still tuned in too, let me know. And I want to know your thoughts on this one, CJ, because might as well be selfish on the show. I have Tyler Boyd or Kirk for my wide receiver 3. What do you think of that?
I think I like Kirk. I've always been a Kirk fan, even though he sucks. But you need to take advantage of it right now. So
he's hot right now. Yeah, Boyd's cold. Boyd is facing Chicago. They got roasted out of the slot by Cooper Kupp. That was Cooper Kupp, though. So I'm still going back and forth between that one. I think I'm going to toss Kirk in, though. We will see. What up, Scott? Heyo, good to see you, Scotty Brooks.
Jeremiah Moore, good morning, Wolf and CJ. Must win week 2 for me. Full point PPR. Start Damien Harris over Swift, Zeke, Aaron Jones, and Edmonds, or leave Harris on the bench. Also, Tannehill or Goff.
I would go.
I would start him over most of those players.
You would start Harris over most of those guys?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think any of them, to be honest. Edmonds is the only close one for me, but I liked what Edmonds showed. I mean, 60-ish% of the snaps, all the receiving work, in a game that should be putting up some points today against the Vikings. I like Edmonds a lot. I think he's a good player, whereas Harris, it's a great smash spot against the Jets. He should be able to steamroll them. I'm still nervous, though, that they might taper back his workload, punish him for that costly fumble. That's what they typically have done in the past. There haven't been any rumblings yet how they're going to handle that, but I'd be a little bit nervous of going all in there. And then for the QB, I got to go Tannehill. I know it was awful. I know Goff's going to have a negative script to have to be chucking all game, but I got to go Tannehill. You got A.J. Brown. You got Julio Jones. If it sucks another week, then we panic. But against the Seahawks, they're going to need points, and the Seahawks have a horrible secondary. So I'm going to roll Tannehill.
That was one of the weirder games of all time. The 49ers were up by like 40, and then you turn it on, and they're up by 8. They ended up pushing. No, they pushed.
Wow. That is just backbreaking for some people, I'm sure.
Giuseppe Russo, good morning, fellas. Need a receiver and a flex, half PPR. Debo, Miles Sanders, Jacoby, Jamal Williams, Cole Beasley, or Mitchell.
I think Debo's the lock receiver after last week. I mean, he had 70% of the team's air yards, and that was the thing with him for all many years. Only just thinking dunk, right? Well, no, he was going deep. He was doing it all over the field. Certainly still great after the catch. You can't bench him after last week's crazy effort, even if the matchup is significantly harder this week. And from there, I think I'm going to go Miles Sanders. I mean, he's been a top 12 running back in 3 of his 4 starts with Jalen Hurts. I like all these other guys, too. I mean, it is a tough call, but I like going Debo, Miles Sanders here. What are your thoughts, CJ?
Yeah, I'm right with you. I was going to go Mitchell over Sanders, but I just like the –
It's risky, man.
Risky. Yeah, I'm saying Sanders and Debo.
Absolutely. Just grabbing the water because I'm already feeling my voice go. What up, Tunes? Love you, Tunes. Good to see you, brother.
Fatty Mateo.
What up, Fatty? Good to see you, brother. Welcome to the show.
Mitchell Chavez, let's get it, Wolves. Good morning. Good luck, everyone.
I love it, Mitch. Thanks for coming in.
Today. Yes, Tim Gray, Wolf, my man, flex CEH over Tyson and Drake.
I would go CEH, yes, over both those guys. I know the stats weren't amazing, but he played – I think he touched all but one running back touch. He played almost all the snaps. When you're in this good of an offense and you're getting that type of workload, it will eventually pan out, right? I mean, we said that all last year too. And then, every other creature under the sun would get the goal line work besides him. So that might still be the case. I still go CH, especially over those 2 options. You agree there?
Yeah, I'm right on there.
That's a pretty easy one.
Ben Thompson, good morning, fellas. CJ, stay beautiful. Terrace Marshall or Waddle PVR?
I got to go Waddle there. I mean, more steady roll. a solid potential shootout matchup. Just he's guaranteed the volume far more than Marshall is, even though I do like stashing Marshall. Waddle is far more playable. I think you agree, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Keep rolling.
William Giannados. After the recent update on Eli Mitchell, should I start him over guys like Edmonds, Gaskin, or Sutton, half PPR?
Those are all, they're all right in that same kind of flex tier for me, William. That's a really tough one. My gut's telling me Edmonds here. But Eli, yes, the report's nice to see. I don't know that I can trust it, though. I don't trust anything about this 49ers team ever, other than maybe Deebo Samuel at this point. And even then, you never know. I would probably go Edmonds myself out of all these guys. But the upside is certainly the highest with Eli Mitchell. We saw last week 100 in a TD. He gets another 19, 20 touches. It's going to be the same thing. So there is upside. I go Edmonds myself. What do you think? This is a really hard one.
Yeah, it's between those two. I'll go Mitchell to be different.
Sutton's also really intriguing against the Jags too.
Yeah.
It's like that's a hard guy to bench as well. The new alpha should be at least. This is a hard one. I don't think I go Gaskin here. That's the easiest rule out.
No, I think he's going to get game scripted out pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm leading Edmonds myself. I'm just pretty high on him this week. But that's a really, really hard one. I go Edmonds. What's your final call here, Steve?
I'm going Mitchell.
Going Eli. I'm surprised neither of us Sutton in a positive spot as well. That's a tough call.
Okay, Jaguar, good morning, fellas. Half PPR flex. James White, Tim Patrick, or Christian Kirk?
What is going on?
I love Tim Patrick, but not right now.
You said you love Tim Patrick?
I like him in general. I just think he's really good. That's like one of the better receiver 4-3s in the league.
He really is.
I'm gonna. I kind of like James White this week too. This is tough.
I like them all.
Yeah.
I really like them all. My flex question is very similar, Keen. I have Kirk, James White, and Javonte Williams, and I cannot decide. I've had all three of them in. I've gone through it time and time again. Part of me wants to just say Kirk for the blow up. White's the safest floor. Tim Patrick a very high floor as well against the Jags. I think he might even end up being the play here. But Kirk is a high volume. He saw a good amount of work in that great offense. Oh boy, Keen, this is one of those ones, and I hate when it sounds like a cop out answer, but James White's getting you 9 to 10. That's going to be a nice safe. Maybe he even gets a touchdown and gets you to 14 and 15. Good floor, not a huge ceiling, but an okay one. Kirk could get you 30. Kirk, he did last week. The floor is also one catch. He might not do anything. Whereas Patrick's the happy medium with a decent ceiling, a solid floor, but a little bit lower floor than White. So it's they're all kind of, what do you need this week? Are you you love your matchup and you just want the sure thing? Go White. You're an underdog, you need to blow up, you go Kirk. I think Kirk might be, I think I'm going Kirk here. What's your final answer, CJ?
Yeah, I think you have to roll the dice with Kirk. James White, it is just he's going to get you his 8 to 10. Tim Patrick could score too.
He really could against the Jags.
I'm going Tim Patrick then.
Tim Patrick, yeah. I like going to one of the receivers, and Patrick's the safer one. I'm going to go Kirk. He goes Patrick. Let us know, Katie Jiggs. Probably go James White now. That's a really good one. A lot of tough questions so far today. I like it.
We do have some inactives that's going to get you back on Elijah Moore. Both Jamison Crowder and Denzel Mims are out today.
Okay. I'm not going to go back to Elijah Moore yet, but it gives him more stash appeal at this point. Yeah, but I'm definitely not putting him back in my lineup yet. I need to see that before I believe it.
Capman 9000, Kenyon Drake, or Marquez Callaway?
I like Callaway. I know Drake's the safer bet for volume, but I don't care. Against the Steelers, I don't want anything to do with it. I really think Callaway's going to blow up today. I have just a feeling in my gut he's having a big one.
Dylan Adams, good morning, fellas. Javonte, Callaway, or Gaskin in my flex? Full PPR.
I'm going to go Callaway. Gaskin's the safest, but really is he that safe against Buffalo? He's their best pass-catching back. So that does – I think he could get game scripted, but I also could play in his favor. This is the best pass catcher there. But I like Callaway. I think Callaway's having himself a big day, so that's where I'd roll my dice. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I'm staying with Callaway. I can't do Gaskin yet, and Javonte, just not enough volume.
Yeah, and I have Javonte, and I keep reading and asking people, we're facing the Jags, the perfect opportunity to get their rookie's feet wet and get him some work. Yeah, I get that. I buy that. I think it's a good narrative. But he had 14 carries and did pretty much nothing with them last week in a tougher matchup. But I don't know. I kind of want him on my bench until I see it again. So we'll see with that one. And again, guys, thumbs up. 40 people here, only 20 likes. Come on, get those up. Bump those numbers. Those are rookie numbers. Let's continue to get us out to more people. Shares, likes, retweets, drops in fantasy groups you're in. All that good stuff really helps us out.
Do you want some inactives and actives?
Yeah, do we got any shocking ones that we weren't expecting?
Well, you were talking about JJ Taylor earlier. Ramondre Stevenson is inactive. So
and Taylor is active?
I didn't see that, but I assume so. I don't think they would just go with 2 running backs. Let me see.
If not, then Damien Harris becomes – I have to bump Harris up significantly. I wonder what they're going to do with Taylor.
Let me see.
Yeah, keep looking that up. I'll hit some questions while you find these final notes here. And good Sunday to you, Seamus. We love you. You're one of the best OG fans we've ever had. Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams, Corey Davis, Eli Mitchell, flex 2 for PPR. I like going your first 2 here. Deontay, Mike Williams, certainly in PPR. I like them both. I think they roll. And I love all 4 of these options. They're all great. But give me Deontay, give me Mike there. I love seeing the Giants lose, as do I, too. It's always a great feeling. Full PPR flex, Debo or Damien Harris. Love the Jets matchup, but terrified to sit Debo. I'd be terrified to sit Debo, especially full PPR. And I'm worried about Harris. What's going to happen? Is Taylor going to be involved? We'll find out if he's active. If Taylor's not active, it's just Harris and White. That could make a difference, but I don't expect that to be the case. So give me Debo there. Ben Thompson, Ridley, Allen Robinson, Cup AB, Debo. Sit 1. Who is it? Ooh, that is a brutal sit. I don't really want to sit any of these guys, and I just said you can't really sit Debo, but of all those options, I think I like Debo the least. It comes down to, of course, Debo and AB. The rest of them you can't bench. Like Ridley's that was frustrating, but he'll rebound. I think I'm sitting Debo here. What do you think for Ben Thompson here? Ridley, A-Rob, Cup, AB, Debo. You got to sit one of them. That's tough.
I think I'm going to sit AB and say that Mike Evans is going to pick up the slack a little bit this week.
That could happen. They're going to go off against Atlanta, but who's it going to be? So you said AB. I think I still love AB today. I'm going to bench Debo there. But, yeah, that's a tough one, Ben. That's a really tough one. Corey Davis or Jacoby Myers. I'm going to keep rolling with Davis. I like Jacoby a lot against the Jets today, but Davis, you have 2 touchdowns, the clear number 1 there. I like that, Justin. Any word yet on JJ Taylor, CJ?
Yep, he's active. Officially inactive, so Ramondre Stevenson, Marshawn Lattimore is inactive. I said Jamison Crowder is inactive. And then some actives are Gabe Davis, Keelan Cole, Jonnu Smith, Trey Sermon, Michael Pittman, Zach Moss. That's all right.
No real world changers.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Right
nothing moving the needle there, but still good to know. For guys like Singletary, you can't play now, things of that nature. All righty, back on track.
Yep. Bennett Campbell, standard scoring, Deandre Swift, Corey Davis, Laviska Shenault, or Jamal Williams.
Gotta go Deandre Swift there. I mean, he looked so damn explosive on his touches. Such a running back-centric offense. I'm going to go Deandre Swift there.
Fatty Mateo, full PPR, I need 2 running backs and a flex. Right now I have Hunt, Jamal Williams. Would you consider James Robinson or Mike Davis?
Nope. I think you got it perfect there, Fatty. I would go both guys that you have. I don't like James Robinson at all, and I don't like that offense at all. And Mike Davis, I don't really like either, and especially not against Tampa Bay. I am intrigued. I tweeted this one out earlier this week to a lot of mixed reactions as well. Cordarrelle Patterson, 11% owned, the leading rusher right now. Had 7 carries compared to 15 for Mike Davis and still outgained him. Has the most runs of 10-plus yards, even though he only saw 7 carries in the NFL right now. In the NFL, most 10-plus yard carries. Maybe this is the offense that he finally gets committed to. It's worth a bench stash if you have trash. Him, JJ Taylor, just a couple names to toss out there. But all that to say, I don't like James Robinson or Mike Davis at all. Give me Hunt and Jamal Williams for sure.
Jordan Teat, a day 1 guy. T. Higgins or Elijah Mitchell in my flex, full PPR.
These Elijah Mitchells are going to be really hard. And I think what a lot of people are looking for is like, are you confident? Tell me, give me the faith in Elijah Mitchell. And honestly, I'm not here to do that. I don't have any faith. How could anybody have any faith when Elijah Mitchell wasn't a thing until last week? It's tricky. I like these reports. He's going to get the full workload. I'm still nervous about it. I'd go T. Higgins here in your flex, Jordan. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I'm in line with you there. I
love it.
I just can't figure out the 49ers, so can anyone.
I'd like to see Shanahan be a man of his word and give him a full workload before I actually trust it. And that gives you a good option there, T. Higgins, to see it.
Bill Jagir, a week 2 battle against my mother-in-law. Smack talk already flying. Half PPR. We need to see those texts, by the way. Half PPR, pick 2 of these: Claypool, Myers, Robbie Anderson.
Oh yeah, the smack talking. He's in my family fantasy league. We're all in that together. I'm sure Jane is laying the smack down on the smack talk board. I can't wait to check that out. It's been pretty lively this week, which has been amazing. So I love to see that of these guys and this big battle with the mother-in-law. I'm going to bench – I think I bench Robbie here. I love Myers. He's kind of the safest of those guys. I don't want 2 boomer busts in my lineup. I got to pick the dice on one. And I kind of like roll the dice on Claypool a little more than Robbie myself. What do you think of that, CJ? That's a tough question.
Do you think Myers is going to score his first touchdown this week?
I know. I don't know if he does, and I don't think it will matter. I think he'll have 10 catches this week. I think he'll have like 100-something yards. And if he scores on top of that, amazing. I love Myers. What do you think of Claypool versus Robbie as the dice roll? Which one would you roll the dice on?
I like Robbie Anderson. I know he had that bomb last week, but I don't know. There's something about him. I think it might be because of our basement days, the come kid days. But
he came through so big for us that day. Like that was the best.
He's always solid. He has the rapport with Darnold. I'm gonna go with Robbie Anderson there.
Alrighty. So Myers, would you bench Myers? Would you bench him, the safer of the option, and put Claypool in over him?
No, I'm going Robbie Anderson and Myers.
Alrighty. So I go Claypool Myers, and CJ goes Robbie A. Myers.
Charlie Manalakis. What a glorious Sunday. Am I crazy to love Kirk as much as I do in a potential shootout versus Minnesota? Snagged him on almost every waiver wire. Should I trust him over James White, Javonte, Deontay, or Cup?
The last 2, no. Those guys have to be locked in your lineup. But Charlie, I want you. I love talking ball with you. One of my favorite fans. You're the man, Charlie. I have that exact dilemma you just typed out: James White, Javonte, or Christian Kirk. I have to decide between the 3, and I don't know what I'm doing. I have my mind in a blender over that one. I love him too. It might be owner bias because I got him, late on Saturday as a $11 pickup. I don't know who dropped him. Some more on my league. I appreciate it. I don't know. What is your thoughts on Javonte, James White, and Christian Kirk, CJ?
I'm going Christian Kirk there. James White's kind of boring. He'll give you your points, but I'm going Kirk there. Another blow up.
Go for the blow up of Kirk. I think I'm with you there, Charlie. The Javonte versus the Jags. I put that poll out. If this helps you out at all, Charlie, I put that poll out. James White, Javonte, Christian Kirk on Twitter. Just because I want to, use my audience. I got to gauge it, be selfish again. And 69% said Javonte. So he was the overwhelming favorite by Twitter. I still kind of think I'm leading Christian Kirk myself, though.
Fatty Mateo, also need a flex full PPR. I have Gronk in right now. Options are Landry, Aiyuk, James Robinson, and Mike Davis.
I think the only one you'd consider swapping for is Landry, and I think it's a fair consideration. Houston's a horrible defense.
Especially full PPR, too.
Yep, and Odell, we didn't cover this because he's been out since Tuesday, but Odell is out. Landry's certainly the higher floor. I do think Gronk smashes yet again. I mean, he just looks so damn good, but he's by far the bigger risk to just disappear. Landry's getting 5 catches. Landry's going to have 70-ish yards. Maybe he finds the end zone again. All that said, I think I'm still rolling the dice on Gronk to score at least 1 more touchdown, maybe even 2. So I'm going to go Gronk. What are your thoughts, CJ?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Gronk until Aiyuk returns to being Aiyuk.
Yeah. Landry he scored a rushing touchdown last week, and it's so fluky. I think Gronk's by far the better bet to find the end zone. He looked so damn good. I couldn't get over how good he looked. It made me so pissed off that I'm not in on him this year because he just looked amazing. He's going to be one of the best value picks, it looks like.
Okay, Jagir, full PPR, need a running back and a flex. Tyson Williams, Mike Davis, Mike Williams, Jamar Chase.
Ooh, I wish I could say Williams and Chase and just lock them both in, but I see that you need a running back. I'll go Tyson then. I don't want Davis in a tough matchup against Tampa Bay, no matter what the safer bet from volume. I don't care. Don't want that. Davis looked gross last week. He's going to think gross all year. Not into him, even though I own him far too many places. I'm going to go Tyson. And then the receiver question. I have that same exact question. I got to go Chase, though. I love Jamar Chase. I love what he saw. I love the rapport was already there. And I love the matchup against Chicago, a bad Chicago defense. He's also only $5K on DraftKings, which blows my mind. But give me Chase against Mike Williams. That's really tough, though, because Williams also looked amazing. And I got to give it to you, CJ. You were hammering Williams on our show last week. And I don't even know if you could have foreseen 12 targets, 8 catches,
No.
target hog role. Like, we wrote about it, and it came into perfect fruition, that X receiver role. So what do you think about Chase? What's his
Yeah, I'm going Mike Williams. He gets the Cowboys this week. He's gonna go for another touchdown or two. I'm going Tyson and Mike Williams.
So both Williams for CJ. I go Williams Chase, but they're both in great positions. Keen. I don't know if you can bench somebody else to get them both in there because I love them both.
Ben Tomsick, Jamar Chase, or Devonta Smith, and would you sit Najee for Eli Mitchell now? No.
No, I would not sit Najee for Eli. No, I would not.
100% of snaps. He still gets a ton of carries. He'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I just the carry the load stuff is again nice to hear. Why do we not learn to not believe a word that comes out of Shanahan's mouth yet? Like, he loves being the villain. He's probably planting this so we all play Eli Mitchell and Trey Sermon's going to get like 30 carries. I don't. That still scares me. I don't care about this report as much as maybe I should. So Chase versus Smith. I like Chase better, but that is another good one. Like, they're both look great as rookies. But Chase, to me, he was the number one receiver in this class for a reason. He showed it right away. All that summer, like, backlash against him is going to prove to be so foolish. I love Chase. I go Chase over Smith. Do you agree there?
Yep, I agree there. The end. I traded Connor, Mitchell, and Kirk for Waddle, Claypool, and White. Did I win?
I think so. I would say Claypool is probably the best. They're all like, who knows? That's a wait and see. Like, I think you won. I think you probably sold high on Mitchell. But if Mitchell ends up being the feature back for the Niners and it actually pans out all year, like, then you sold horribly. And this is one that we got to wait and see the end. I think I'd prefer your side if I could today, but that's probably a trade I wouldn't have messed around with either. It's a little too even. There's not a clear winner to me in that one.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I made such a dumb life decision when I had Sermon. I had Sermon as my RB3, lost Gus Edwards, added Mitchell. I know that's going to be the biggest headache in my history.
That's going to pulverize you. Your soul. I feel bad for your soul. You're going to be tortured this season.
Winston Fields, Kittle, or Hawkinson PPR?
It is. You just have me thinking, though. It's like the most mind-numbing thing because of how great of a scheme it is. It's literally heaven for a running back. It's heaven, and then Shanahan just makes it hell because you can never read it. Like, that's why it's so frustrating. It's one thing it was like a bad field that's just kind of gross and whatever. I can ignore it. Somebody's running for 100 yards there every week. It just might be a different guy every single week. That sucks. What's crazy with this one is I think I'm going Hawkinson over Kittle. Like, what are your thoughts?
I was thinking that, then I did see Harditz tweeted out that Kittle went for like 15 receptions and 15 targets his last game against who are they playing this week? The Eagles. Yeah. His last time against the Eagles was 15 targets, 15 receptions. So I'm leaning Kittle there.
That's a really tough one. I was wondering too. Do you think there's any chance the Packers put Jair on Hawkinson since they have literally no other receivers that he'd have to worry about? Like, that would be kind of weird to put a number one corner on a tight end that's probably like in line and stuff, but wouldn't shock me.
I could see them like at least like bracket him with like a safety and a corner or something. Right. I don't know, but there's no other.
I'm going to go Hawkinson. And one of my favorite nicknames of the year so far is got to give Alex credit for this one. My brother, he calls Hawkinson Beethoven because his like picture with the hair flowing. It just looks like a psycho demented composer. So Beethoven. I'm going Beethoven Hawkinson myself.
Mike Clay, my one league, I went Waller at 15th overall over Gibson. Really happy with that.
Amazing. I'm sure you got shit on for that by like league mates. Waller was the best second round pick you could have made this year. It's awesome. He should be going. He's 19 targets. That's Kelsey. I mean, he is in the Kelsey tier. It's no longer Kelsey by himself. Waller's in that tier. I think there is more risk of like a week to week, a Waller disappearing because of that offense just could somehow suck. For the Chiefs, they're always going to move it. So I still have Kelsey number one, but Waller is right there with him as the elite edge. Everybody else so far below him.
For Waller today, too, both Devin Bush and Joe Hayden are out for the Steelers. So
it might be a little bit of an easier matchup than people are anticipating. Okay, interesting.
Nato 11, Wolf, happy Sunday. Good to see you both.
Good to see you too, brother. Appreciate you tuning in as always.
Tunes, Mike Davis, Patterson, or Hasty. Leaning Patterson because he seems to get more of the pass catching work. That's disgusting.
Dude, this is bad. Like KJ Hamler, not there. You must have to. Maybe you have to go running back. Is my guess for your RB2 spot. I'm actually kind of with you. I might go Patterson here. I guess Mike Davis is the best bet to fall his fat ass into the end zone. So, like, maybe him. This is bad. It's not Hasty. That's like the third string probably for them. But again, Hasty might be the guy that goes. I don't know, but I'm not going to do that. It's which Falcons guy. Yeah, maybe Patterson for the pass catching work. I don't know. That's bad. That's not fun. I'd probably go Davis just because you're getting the carries and you might get lucky and get into the end zone at one point. So I'd probably go Davis there if I had the choice between the two.
Austin first, third, Jamal Williams or Laviska?
Kind of like Williams here. Like the Jags is still kind of sideline them. Let's not against Denver. I don't want to see any of them against Denver. So give me Jamal Williams there.
Cool whip. Need to flex two of these guys. Half PPR, Julio, Jamar, Tyson.
I'd go Jamar for sure. I'll probably go Julio as well. I think he could rebound big. Tyson, just that hot hand situation should be the hot hand. It's something you don't have to mess with when you have Julio and Jamar. If Julio sucks again, the offense sucks again, then we start reconsidering it. But
he's adding Elijah Mitchell to that, I think.
Okay, now that gets tricky. Julio versus Elijah Mitchell as well. So again, Chase locked in for me. I might go Elijah over Julio. Half PPR, yeah. I think I do. What are your thoughts, CJ? That's a tough one for me.
I don't know. I'm not jumping off Julio after that week. That offense was just a mess.
Yeah, Elijah could be such a mess too.
He had the drop in the end zone too. I'm going Julio Jamar.
I think so too. All righty. I'll be there with you. What's that coffee you're drinking, by the way? Is it like chocolate on the bottom, or what was that?
No, it's just melted now. It's gross. Kyle Thunberg, Jamal Williams, Ronald Jones, and Mike Davis, full PPR.
Tunes with the gross running back questions. I got to go Williams here, though. He's my preferred play of that group.
Cody Poore, Kenyon Drake, or Chase Edmonds?
I'm going Edmonds. Big on Edmonds this week, and I guess those Steelers injuries could make it a little easier to move against him, but I still think that defense could swallow the Raiders up regardless of injuries. So give me Edmonds there.
Trey Sermon checking his roster before the game. Morning, gents. 2 questions, both full PPR. First question, Deontay or Debo is my receiver 2. Second question, flex, either Henderson or Mitchell.
That's tough between those two receivers.
I think I'm going Deontay there.
I do too. Yeah, bad secondary. He's such a target hog. I like Deontay. And I think I'm going to go Henderson. I mean, what I like about Henderson a lot that I didn't expect is McVay kind of endorsed him like, hey, he's going to start all the games, and if he rolls like he did, I don't see us changing anything we did. And that was 3 snaps given to Sony Michel. So I like Sony Michel. I thought he was a good 10th round upside pick. Probably still has it. I still hold on to him given Henderson's injury concerns, but this is going to be the Henderson show until further notice, and that's not what I expected with this backfield, but it seems very clear based on the actions and comments from the coach. So give me Henderson. I have more faith in McVay keeping his word and featuring Henderson than I do Shanahan by a long stretch.
Yep. Ben Thompson, Goff or Bridgewater is a stream.
Oh, good one. I like Bridgewater against the Jags. Like Goff will always have that come from behind. Goff's the quarterback. How high do you think Goff is in fantasy? Do you know?
What do you mean, points wise?
Like, yeah, where does he rank among quarterbacks?
I'm not sure. I'll get that in 1 second.
No, I know.
Oh, you do know? Actually, isn't he like 4 overall or something?
Number 3. He's 30 points right now. It's crazy. And I think, I don't think he's going to be top 5 all year, but top 12 is well within his outcomes given how bad they are and how much they're going to have to chuck. That being said, anyone facing the Jags is very viable. I think Bridgewater throws for 2 touchdowns. Goff, bigger ceiling, but I like Bridgewater. I think it's a nice, safe floor.
I mean, Goff targeted his running backs 23 times last week.
That's the offense there. That's like, the Campbell. That's what I expected them to target the running backs. I didn't think it was going to be that much, but, that was pretty wild. So, yeah, I'm going to go there. I go with there. Folks, we're right toward the top of the hour. You can get us some thumbs up. We've got great views, over 40 people throughout the entire stream. We love it. We're going to keep getting to all your questions. I'll get to the rapid fire if need be. But the thumbs up, if there's some of you that are new, haven't hit it yet, it helps us continue this going, dropping it in share groups, retweeting it, sharing the YouTube link. Get us out to more people. It mean the world. Be very appreciated, guys. So thank you, Wolfpack, for considering to do that. We got to 50 likes last week. We're not even halfway there. Come on, guys. Get those numbers up. These are rookie numbers. We greatly appreciate it.
Kevin James, what are your thoughts about Kenyon Drake? He missed the beginning.
Nope. That's all. I don't want to touch this backfield. The fact that he even mentioned frickin' Peyton Barber, I'm good. I'm good.
I love how the the media asked him, they were like, "Oh, is this going to be like a Kenyon Drake day?" And he was just like, "No, it's actually Peyton Barber."
Yeah,
he just talked about him for like 5 minutes.
Horrible. And maybe he's just doing that as a smokescreen. I don't know. I don't care. It's against the Steelers. I don't need to find out. I'm just avoiding that situation.
Tunes, Marvin Jones or Chris Godwin, full PPR.
Oh, come on, Tunes. That's Godwin. Like, I just got to give you layups. Like, Godwin's going to smash the Falcons. Like, I think this is a weird comment, but 2 nights ago, I never remember my dreams ever. And I had a very, very vivid dream that I had a scratch ticket. And for whatever reason, the winning symbol on the scratch ticket was Chris Godwin's face. And I won a $3 million scratch ticket because I scratched off Godwin's face. So now I did switch a lot of my DraftKings lineups to put Chris Godwin.
I was going to say that he needs to be in all your lineups now.
I took him out of I didn't do all my lineups with him, but I certainly that changed my approach to the slate. Is this vivid dream I had of Chris Godwin winning me $1 million. So we'll see if that comes to fruition.
Did you at least put him in the Millie?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. Oh yeah. 100%. So we'll see if my dream comes to fruition. For whatever reason, it kind of feels like a Mike Evans week, but maybe that's hopeful owner of me. Like they're just going to smash that team. And a lot of people keep bringing up too, like, oh, if they smash them early, they're just going to run it, right? Well, I don't know that Brady's not going to go for records. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to say, CJ?
Yeah, no, they don't do that though. Like Bruce Arians never does that. He likes to run up the score. He wants Brady to get stats. He wants everyone to get stats.
Exactly. And I think Brady just wants to feed everybody. So I think Godwin's certainly in that all you can eat buffet again today. And maybe he's going to win me $1 million. We'll find out.
Luke Blackwell, what do you think will happen with Le'Veon? I picked him up in Dynasty as soon as I heard Ravens are picking him up. Worth holding on to him.
If he doesn't get activated by the Ravens, like who need a back as bad as anybody, if he can't get active on this roster, when's he ever going to get active again? So I guess if you have bench space, why not? But I'm not expecting much, Luke. I'm sorry. I would. I don't know that there's dynasty leagues with deeper benches. It's like, is there anything better to hold on to? Probably not. But I don't think he's going to be anything meaningful for you this season, next year. I don't know if he's going to play again. Like we'll see. But I don't. No, he's not really for me.
Wyatt Russell, Mitchell, or Waddle at the flex?
Ooh, pretty good one. I'd probably go Mitchell. I'll go for the running back there. Full PPR is different. Waddle, no Fuller. I'm going to go Mitchell. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I typically lean the running back in these questions.
Yeah.
Sean, Arizona defense or Green Bay defense?
We go Arizona. I know the matchup against the Vikes is tougher. I know Green Bay gets the Lions. They're a very popular stream because of it, but Lions can put up points, as we saw this week. They're going to turn it over a couple times. I think Green Bay's defense is awful. I mean, we saw Winston just put up 5 touchdowns against them. I know it's home in Green Bay, too, so that home opener, that helps. I'm going to go Arizona, though. Chandler Jones was an absolute monster, and their left tackle for Minnesota's out. So give me that defense.
Michael Schneider, we're taking a shot on starting Sermon over Mike Davis?
Oh, I think I would. Like, why? Why not? I guess Mitchell getting the full workload has me a little bit more skeptical of that. But Davis just, to me, seems bleh today. But those are the type of days where, like, we always overthink. Like, Davis looked bad. He still saw 15 carries. Like, he could easily get into the end zone. I'd probably just go Davis there and just, like, not overthink it, Schneider. I think that's what I'm doing.
Sarah Riley, half PPR, need 2 of these. Boyd, Shenault, Aiyuk, Eli Mitchell, or Javonte?
I'm going to go Boyd and Eli. That's where I'm leaning for this one. Boyd and Eli. I would say Eli's the number 1. So if you wanted to go Javonte over Boyd, I think you could. And I have a similar decision to make myself. But I think Boyd rebounds against this bad Bears defense. So I'll go Eli and Boyd. What do you think?
Yep, I'm right with you there. Tunes again. Come on, Tunes. Full PPR, Mike Williams, Javonte Williams, Aiyuk, Callaway, or Gainwell.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mike Williams is the best bet. Yes, he is.
100% agree. Yep. Callaway would be my next man up there. But, I definitely think Mike's by far the best there.
See Likens blog. PPR, Mitchell or Gaskin?
Mitchell. I'll go for the upside there. That's one where it's worth rolling the dice for that upside.
Tunes, Herbert or Hurts or Stafford?
I'm
going
Herbert.
Yeah.
Shootout. I wanted to say Hurts, but and I love Stafford. Tunes, that is – how do you have those 3 quarterbacks? I mean, that is stacked. And I think you picked up Hurts on the waiver wire last week, if I remember correctly on the show. I go Herbert, though. An awful defense got even more banged up. They're going to just put up points. I can't wait to watch that one.
He needs to deal Stafford. Dylan Adams flipped Jamal Williams for Javonte Williams. Good move.
I think so. Like Jamal that's as good as we're going to see. Maybe he has 1 or 2 more games, especially if Swift got hurt. Okay, maybe he does better. But at long term, Javonte should end up taking over that backfield. Melvin Gordon isn't going quietly in the night, though. I mean, he looked good the other week.
Yeah, he did.
But I'd still prefer Javonte over Jamal. What do you think?
I mean, I have Jamal Williams on every roster because I'm just waiting for Swift to
You
get
love
hurt.
him coming into the year. That's true.
Well, I've hated him forever because of Aaron Jones, obviously, but I just think Swift is just tissue paper. So I'd probably hold on to Jamal Williams, but I think they're both honestly a really good upside.
Both good plays, though. Both good guys to have on your bench for sure.
Charlie Manilakis, take the sure start with Henderson or risk waiting for Swift to hopefully play Monday night. He's not on the injury report.
He practiced in full. I know he's questionable, but he's not questionable to play. He's playing. I would go Swift. He's too juicy to sit. David
Glass, standard flex. Pick one of these: Jamal Williams, Sutton, MVS, or Jalen Rager.
I'm gonna go Jamal. I'm gonna go Sutton. Comes down to Williams or Sutton. I like Sutton against the Jags, though. I think he does some alpha things today and gets them up. So, yeah, give me Sutton there over Jamal. What do you think, CJ?
I'm going Sutton, but MVS, like 2 or 3 touchdown day wouldn't surprise me at all. It's that Monday night blow up and he has like 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 120.
It could happen, but that was too big of a dice roll, in my opinion. Yeah. Tunes is complimenting the trade of Jamal for Javonte, and Tunes typically knows what he's doing, so – I endorse it as well, so we're on the same page.
Mohamed Atakorum. Brandon Cooks.
Great to see you, brother.
Brandon Cooks, Jamal Williams, or Kenyon Drake, full PPR.
That's a pretty good one. It comes down to Williams or Cooks for me. I'm going to probably go Brandon Cooks. I think he's the show in town there. So I go Brandon Cooks. Well, we do have a shitload of questions because I lost my place. So we will keep ripping through here, guys. Continue to get those thumbs up, too. Only 28 likes. We're answering freaking 200-something questions here today. Give us that like. Get us out to more people, guys. Thank you so much for doing so.
Cody Poor, Javonte, or Jamal? Jeez.
A lot of Jamal Williams questions, huh? He just is tricky. Like, I know he had a huge first game, but that was a lot of, like, talk of, Swift's not at 100. He started the game. I think that's as big of a role as we're going to see him have. Whereas we got Javonte against the Jags today. I kind of like that. I think I'm leaning Javonte. What do you think, CJ? You're Jamal guy.
I am, but I agree with you. He did. I think that's like as much as he can do. Is he going to get another 10 targets this week? Probably not. Although if they're getting their ass kicked, they might. Who knows? True.
There'll be a lot of dump offs to the RBs. I mean, that's how that offense goes.
I'll go Javonte with you. Charlie Zigman got offered Aiyuk for Eli. Do I take it? I think I would.
I don't know. It's like, come on. That's up to your gut. I don't think I would. I'd probably rather have Aiyuk myself. Or you're getting offered Aiyuk. I'd probably rather have Aiyuk long term. But then you're just kind of asking this so that way if you do it and then Mitchell becomes a feature back, then fuck you. It's your fight. Who knows what's happening with the 49ers? You ask it like as if I have some sort of inside read on that. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen with these guys. I personally would rather have Aiyuk on my roster than Eli Mitchell. But it's not. I can't say that with certainty. I can't say that like confidently. So good luck. I hope you make the right decision. I don't know.
Tune into the Grant Cohn live show next week.
Right, exactly. He'll hopefully have more clarity, and this week will hopefully give us more clarity. I'd be waiting that one out, Charlie. I don't know yet. Let's see another week.
Dylan Adams thought I'd sell high on Jamal, and it worked. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was a good sell high list last week. I appreciate it. I think so.
Nick Marullo, James Robinson, or Jamal Williams, Tyler Boyd, Claypool, or Shenault in the flex.
Give me Jamal Williams over Robinson, and then I think I'm going to go Claypool for the flex. What do you think?
Oh, I thought this was all in the same question. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I'm going to go Jamal, and I'm going to go with Boyd.
All right. I like it.
Juan Pena, who should I put in the flex? Jarvis Landry, Mike Davis, James Conner, Tunyon, Tyler Boyd, Brandon Aiyuk, or Latavius Murray. I have McLaurin and Cooper.
I would say, man.
I think Jarvis is the safest.
He is. Maybe? Yeah. I would, to me, it's just kind of Jarvis, or maybe you roll the dice on Tunyon against Detroit, but I like Landry there. I would go Landry, Juan Pena.
Nathan Hutchinson, do you play Swift even though he's questionable?
I think he practiced in full. I haven't seen anything that suggests that he's actually truly questionable. I think he's playing.
Yeah, I think they're giving him like one veteran status where he gets like a day off on Wednesday or whatever.
Right.
Austin Schreeb, Elijah Mitchell, or Miles Gaskin.
I like Mitchell here. I do. And, it's risky, but I like it. I'll go there.
Juan Pena, some shots at the Wolf.
Ooh. We were boys, Juan. We still are boys. I also get about 10,000 questions, so I must have missed it. The best place to get a hold of me is Twitter. Like, that's where I check every day for sure. Facebook is so weird in their app in terms of sending messages and when they go through and when they don't. So I didn't see it. I obviously would never purposely ignore you, Mr. Pena.
Yeah, I'm going to say I would do either our Instagram account or Wolf on Twitter are best ways. The Facebook is a mess now because they've like linked Instagram and it's just weird to get like messages all over the place.
It's really weird. I am going to be setting up just full disclosure. We're doing our best to monetize throughout the season. We're trying to put together a really good pitch package. We have some exciting opportunities to potentially get in front of some really big people. So we're trying to make some monetization moves. I'm probably going to move all my DM and like those private topic conversations over to not an expensive Patreon, but one just to, again, show that we can monetize, that we have people that are willing to support the site and the work we do. So I expect in the next couple of weeks, like that's going to be the place. If you want DMs, if you want to be able to talk to us, I don't like putting things behind a paywall. I love being able to interact with you all, but it has gotten so much busier. School's also crazy this year. And we want to prove like we have loyal people that do support us when we do finally get in front of these people to pitch ourselves and potentially blow the site up. So that's going to be a move I think we're going to make in the next week or two. So Juan, again, I apologize. Never meant to purposely ignore you. We're going to kind of centralize that in a potential paywall to make some money and continue to monetize and grow. We have some exciting announcements on that front coming up this week.
Hey, help Wolf get out of the classroom. That's the most important.
I love it. I love teaching, but I'd love to do this full time with everybody as well. So we'll see.
Ty Halper and Hammer CJ's props up over 1,000 since the first game.
That's amazing. I think that's a great segue because I know last time we answer all the questions and we don't get to your props. You went 17-4, right, CJ? Like, it was freaking insane.
I did, yeah.
Today, yeah. And then you followed that up by hitting Daniel Jones plus 3,000 on Thursday Night Football. I see him right here. So I'm going to share the screen to pull your props up. 1 second. So share tab. So that way we can cover these. I'll give you guys my opinions on the ones I like. I remember last week I was like, I love all of these. I think every single one of these is going to hit. I have not seen your bets yet today. So, CJ, why don't you run us through some of these prop bets that you made and that you like?
Yep. Jalen Hurts over 291.5 passing yards plus rushing yards.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Mac Jones over 1.5 touchdown passes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so against the Jets.
Carson Wentz over over a half of interception.
So he throws a pick today, probably. Yeah, that's a good bet. I like that. That's probably my favorite so far.
David Montgomery over 67.5 rushing yards.
Seems like a no-brainer since he's not a good run D. And what did he have last week against a tougher Rams D? Yeah, I like that.
Jonnu Smith over 2.5 receptions. I like there's a lot of tight ends. Actually, I just didn't have enough space to put them all. But there's a ton of tight ends that are 2.5 receptions that I do like. Mike Gesicki's another one. He has 2.5 receptions too, but I also like his receiving yards 21.5.
Even after that 0-0 dud game last week, you think he rebounds?
Buying low on him. We're gonna get good numbers on him. That's the same with Brandon Aiyuk over 2.5 receptions. I think after all that talk this week, they'll try to get him involved.
At least, yeah, right. The 3 designed quick hit screens just to kind of get his legs back under him. I can see that. I like that.
Tim Patrick still in the bandwagon, 3.5 receptions. Ridley, they're gonna pepper him again, over 5.5 receptions. I could see him getting 10 receptions today, honestly.
Probably, yeah.
Mike Evans, anytime touchdown, plus 125. It's usually like minus 110. So I'm going to get the number plus 125. I could see Brady after all that talk last week. It's kind of like the rebound after week 1 week.
Brady always does that too. If somebody was left out for a week, like he always makes sure to get them theirs eventually. I think Evans is a pretty good lock to score today. Yeah, I like that.
His reception number is 4.5. I don't really love that.
I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I like the touchdown bet better.
They'll be inside the 5. We'll throw a fade up. Jonnu Smith. I'm big on Jonnu this week. Anytime touchdown plus 250. I just think after like their red zone woes last week, they're going to get the tight ends involved. And then Mike Williams, anytime touchdown plus 140 against the Cowboys.
Love those. I love all the touchdown ones specifically. I like that you get some pretty good odds on them. So those are the prop bets, guys. Again, 17-4 last week, 19-7 on the season. Pretty good numbers to start. So business is booming. I like it. And now we got Dylan Adams boozing. I like that as well. Awesome, Dylan. Maybe we need to edge. Have you cracked anything yet today, CJ? I don't want to drink, but Dylan's got to move in the spirit here. So I'm going to go grab a quick beer. Thank you, Dylan, for inspiring me. I might get a seltzer, something light. Got a little boozed up yesterday, so I don't want too much, but I got to get something in the system. Why don't you ask Higgs' question? I'll be right back.
Yep. Ryan Haggerty needs a flex. Javonte Williams, Jacoby Myers, Myles Gaskin, Waddle, Marquez, or James White. Here, I usually lean with the running backs here, but I do love Waddle and I do love Callaway this week. I think would you go Marquez here?
I love Callaway
even Jacoby too.
I go Jacoby actually, especially full PPR. Jacoby's my favorite here. I go Jacoby. I think he's going to just catch 10 balls today. So give me Jacoby. As I crack a Vizzy. Have you ever had one of these? I know you're a seltzer guy, CJ. Have you tried Vizzies?
Oh, I have. I've been stuck on the Truly iced teas. That's what I've been on lately.
I love the Vizzies. You get your vitamin C. Truly iced teas are solid too, though.
Dylan Adams, what the hell is going on with Gibson? He's giving me anxiety.
I think we worry in the sense that all that hype of the next Christian McCaffrey, that's not happening. He's still going to be in a timeshare, but the touchdowns are going to come. The workload's there. Like, I'm not that worried, but it's sad to know that it's probably the same role he had last year, maybe a little bit of a juiced up offense. So that role is better, but I'd be buying low if people are that worried, if people are having anxiety and panicking. Like, I think he's going to be fine long-term. It's more so just tough to see he's not going to be the true workhorse that he should be and that he could be, at least without injury happening.
Was it Scotty? Higbee or Drake in a full PPR, half point tight end premium.
Oh, especially with the tight end premium. I kind of wanted Higbee anyways. Played legitimately 100% of the snaps. That's always been the bugaboo with him is the snaps, the consistency, the targets. First game without Gerald Everett. Didn't light the scoreboard on fire, but I think he got to 69, 70-ish yards, and now gets another good matchup. I think he's going to be a monster tight end throughout the year. So when you get that bonus, I think you capitalize and you put him in there.
Paul Schatz, Julio, Landry, Moore. Who should I start?
I don't know which more you're talking about, so that changes things.
DJ maybe?
Probably DJ. I would probably go Julio myself. I'm going to give Julio a rebound game, a bad Seattle team. Points will be needed, and if they don't get it done this week, then we bench, then we panic. But I'm going to give him another chance.
Cam Geckel, only one question today, guys. CEH or Debo in the flex full PPR?
And that's a good question. That's a tough one, Geckel, and also great to see you as always. I think full PPR, I'm going to go Debo. That was just such a monster performance. I'd have a hard time putting him on the bench again. Wait, what is this? This can't be true, right? Debo, a healthy scratch?
I haven't seen that.
Why don't you I'll do some questions, CJ. Do some digging, because that would be –
I think that I definitely would have got a notification from that.
That would be
– They're 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah, they're early, so we'll know. That can't be true.
Enough with this. Don't spread fake news on our –
Yeah, don't do that crap. And if it – but people see reports. They want us to know. They're alerting us. I don't mean to chastise you, Dylan. So
no,
if that actually is something, let's look at it.
Absolutely nothing on that.
Yeah, that can't be. That can't be something. Hunter Mitchell, the flex – I probably go for the full workload of Mitchell today. I know Hunt's safer against Houston, but I think I'm leaning Mitchell. What do you think?
I actually just put Hunt into a DFS lineup, so I'm going Hunt.
I like it. Good logic here.
Tunes, do I drop Gainwell and pick up James White?
What does your roster need? Probably. I do. Gainwell does have the upside. If it's one of those things that White's never going to be used for you, Gainwell has a higher ceiling. If something happens to Sanders, he looks really good. But in general, I like White as a usable guy that has some juice, but a really, really nice floor.
Mitchell Chavez, you wouldn't play Edmonds over Carson or Najee, right?
Nope. Right. I like Edmonds a lot this week, but
I love Carson this week too.
I think Carson's going to destroy the Titans. Yes, I love Carson this week.
Dylan Adams, Denzel Mims, healthy and active.
Yep, that's good stuff to know. Yep, exactly.
I'm sick for the Corey Davis owners. Oops.
Yeah, well, it was the same idea. Mims and Crowder. We've already covered that. But thank you, guys. I appreciate you bringing the news here.
Pally Shots, Julio, Landry, Moore, and Devonta Smith. Which two should I start?
Again, I don't know which more it is, but I'd probably go Julio and DJ Moore. If it's DJ Moore, I'd probably go Julio and Devonta if it's not.
Austin Shreve, Ronald Jones, Nelson Aguilar, Christian Kirk, full PPR.
Kirk. Let's roll the dice on Kirk there.
Jose Vega, Javonte Williams, or Kenyon Drake, full PPR.
I'm going to go Javonte against the Jags. I don't want to touch it. I know Drake's the starter, all that stuff. I don't want to touch this backfield if I don't have to.
Cam Geckel, which I spent for Elijah Mitchell. He's riding the bench behind Evans and Lockett.
Yeah, and he should be behind those two studs.
Jeremiah Moore, I've got Corey Davis on my bench. I don't like it, but I can't start him over A-Rob or Deontay, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. You got to sit him, and Geckel's with you too. I love Corey Davis, but over those two guys, you got to play the other two.
Benny the Jet, Mike Williams, or Jamar Chase. We had that one earlier. Mike Williams for me. Chase for you, right?
Yeah. We had something similar to that, and I said Chase myself. Yep.
Todd Exotic, is there any footage where CJay has broken his Sunday mild-mannered character and had a fire lit under him? Nope.
Yeah, he's just a robot. It's what you get. No, I've seen a fired up CJay back in the day. I don't know if that CJay exists anymore. I've seen drunk CJay in the past. But no, we'll bring it out maybe once this year. We'll get CJay really drunk on the show sometime. Maybe at a live show. Maybe when you come up here, Todd Exotic, to Massachusetts, to Old Planners Brewery, and we'll get you the drunk CJay going.
I'm over 30. I'm on my way down. C. Likens blog, half PPR, MJJ, Callaway, or Waddle?
I like Callaway. I've gotten this one. I got Callaway versus Waddle earlier. I'm not going to do Marvin Jones. I know, CJay, you're all in on Waddle. Waddle's definitely the better, safer, higher floor play. I just think Callaway's blowing up today. So I'm going to say Callaway because I want to roll the dice, but he's far more likely to lose you your week than Waddle is. Waddle's going to get you something today, no matter what. Callaway might be zero. So there's definitely risk with that. But I think Callaway's blowing up myself. Do you think Waddle over Callaway? I think you said that earlier, right?
I do. Yeah, I'm sticking with Waddle. You might have changed me on Callaway, but I'm going to hold my guns.
I think he's going to blow up today.
Cam wants to know, do you have a permit to carry? Permit for those guns?
Oh, baby. I hate that. This became a thing. I only wear this on Sunday shows. But it became a thing. I got called out the one time I wore a T-shirt. So even in the dead of winter, I'll be in this tank top every Sunday, baby. No doubt, just for you. We got that one. So we're split. We're split down the middle, Benny the Jet. I go Chase. CJay goes Mike Williams.
I think he's just talking to him.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yes, sir.
I think we already did that one, too.
Yeah, don't ask your questions a million times, guys. That's the quickest way for us to – we jot down the names. So, Pauly Shots in the future. You do this again, we don't answer your questions. Don't do it.
Corey Alagood, Nelson Aguilar, or DJ Chark.
Both, which one goes deep and scores? I'd go Chark, I guess, but don't feel awesome about it.
Mike Clay picked 2 receivers in a flex. Corey Davis, AB, Waddle, Myers, Tyson. I think we had that too, didn't we?
I go AB, I go Davis, and then the flex, I go Myers over Waddle, especially for full PPR. You love Waddle. Where does your love get the balance? You go Myers over Waddle? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd probably go Myers over Waddle. Seems a little safer. So, yeah, I would probably go AB, Myers, Tyson, maybe?
Davis. Corey Davis in there.
I don't know. Duck turned me off on Davis this week. He usually does burn the Patriots, but
he's going to burn us. He's the number one there.
DJ Johnson, half PPR, Singletary, Tyson, Patrick, or Elijah Moore?
Oh, I go Tyson here. Patrick would be my next one up. I go Tyson myself. What about you, CJay?
Tim Patrick.
It's not Singletary. It's not Elijah Moore. It comes down to those other two. I go Tyson. He goes Patrick. You see what happens.
Mike Clay, Javonte, or James White?
It's funny how all the Javonte questions come down to either Javonte or Jamal Williams or Javonte and James White. That's what they all come down to. It's, again, as I've said before, James White, safer, higher floor, especially full PPR. You'll probably get nice 11, 12. Javonte, Jags, upside for 2 touchdowns. I lean James White, especially in full PPR, but it depends on your needs at that point.
Mike Clay, Corey Davis, or Callaway?
Corey Davis for me. I do love Callaway. I think he blows up, but Corey Davis, I'm keeping in there.
Z-Balls, Damien Harris, or Eli Mitchell? I have the same one and you have the same one. So I've flipped it twice during the show.
I keep changing it. I don't know. I have that for my Holy Cross League Z-Balls. I think the fact that Ramondre's inactive but Harris isn't is good for Harris, I think. I just have a sick feeling in my gut. Like JJ Taylor's going to have like 12, 15 carries today and like do really well. I don't know. I'm nervous about that. And last year, I called it. Rex Burkhead had like 3 touchdowns, had a monster day in week 2. And I just have these weird feelings about Patriots running backs sometimes. And I don't know. I'm nervous about Damien Harris, but I'm also very nervous about Eli Mitchell. It's not like this is like a nice, safe option. So I think I'm going to go Harris. I think I've decided I'm going Harris. I think they're going to give it another shot. He never really had fumbling woes. So I think this is more of the exception than the rule with this guy. I'm going to go Harris, and I think he rebounds this week.
I don't know, because I also spent $52 on Mitchell. So, Angelica Brand, flex spot, wide receiver. Juju Sutton. Judy got hurt last week.
Go Sutton. I'm going to go Sutton. I like Sutton against the Jags as the number 1 there. The Steelers with Najee now there, it's trickier. They don't have the passing volume to sustain these 3 guys like they did all last year.
India, last one, Cooks or Bobby Anderson?
I'm going to go Cooks there. I like Brandon Cooks there.
David Hall, Nyheim Hines or Elijah Mitchell?
My brother has that same exact question. I'm going Mitchell, though, especially with this full workload report.
David Hall again, Corey Davis or Devontae Parker, full PPR?
Corey Davis. I'm not a big Parker guy this year. I know he had a pretty good day against the Pats, but I'm not into him this year.
Dylan Adams, pick 2 PPR, Boyd, Callaway, Javonte.
I think I'm benching Javonte here. I'm going to go with the wide receivers there, Dylan.
Ian Stanford, half PPR, Corey Davis or Chase Edmonds?
That's pretty good. That's a tough one. I think I go Corey Davis, though. He looked so good, and I don't think our secondary is anything special for the Pats. So,
especially with Gilmore out. Tom sick, Parris Campbell's out, and Pittman is in.
Okay. I don't play anybody against the Rams from that offense, but good to know. Thank you, Ben.
Play Carson Wentz over 0.5 interceptions.
Yeah.
Charlie Manalakis, appreciate you both weighing in. Think I'm with y'all on James White third, and then it comes down to Kirk's ceiling versus Javonte's stronger floor and what should be a comfortable win against the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. So you're weighing in with me. I appreciate it. Kirk is just so risky too, though. Like it is. I have good matchups, so I think I might just roll up Javonte and go for like 15 touches against the Jags myself. That's where I think I'm leading.
West Cub looks like Wolf needs a Gatorade.
Wolf needs booze. That's what Wolf needs.
T. Higgins, Callaway, James White, and PPR and half PPR.
It's Higgins. I love Higgins. I know I love Chase. I think I like Chase even more than Higgins already for the rest of the season, but I still love Higgins. Absolutely.
Mohammed Baz, bro, please help. Callaway, Beasley, or Aguilar?
I like your manners, Mohammed. Thank you for using please. I'm going to go Callaway for the blow up. Now, Beasley, nice floor, safe, good option. And as we said, Josh Allen, 25% of his career touchdowns have come against the Dolphins. He's going to have a big day. I go Callaway for the blow up, though, myself. Would you go Callaway or would you go the Bees?
I'm going Bees.
13 targets last week, and I don't think that's an anomaly. I think he's going to be a good bet for 8 to 10.
Yeah, if we probably expanded his last 10 games or something, his numbers are probably insane.
It is, yeah.
TJ Johnson, Standard, Patrick, Corey Davis, Callaway, Sermon, Rojo.
Standard sucks, one. But 2, Corey Davis. I think you just keep going him. The best player here is Corey Davis. I'm not going to let format kind of change. He got 2 touchdowns last week, too. So I go Corey Davis, followed by Callaway if you want somebody else.
Jair, Mike Davis, or Godwin?
Oh, it's Godwin. Yeah, that's Godwin. That's an easy one.
Especially after your dream. Mario Robb, half PPR, DJ Moore, Elijah Mitchell, or Robert Woods?
I'm going Woods. I know he didn't have the best of weeks last week, but I think he bounces back and gets a nice deep score this week. Mike.
John Harper, J-Rob, Mike Davis, Julio Jones, and Corey Davis. He needs a running back and a flex.
Running backs, I hate both of them, but I guess I go Robinson there and hope they kind of regain anything. I don't know. I don't like that at all. I guess go Robinson. And then Corey Davis versus Jones is tough, but I think I'd go Julio. I think he's going to rebound this week. So I'm going to go Julio there.
I'm with you. Jair Sandoval, Mike Davis, or Mike Evans, and Mahomes or Brady?
Got to go Evans. I'm not trusting Davis today. And it's Mahomes. It's Pat Mahomes. As much as I love Brady, it's got to be Mahomes in my opinion.
I kind of like Brady.
Do you? He gets Atlanta. So he gets Atlanta My thing, though, is I think people are like, oh, he's facing Baltimore. Baltimore's bad this year. Now that they lost Marlon Humphrey, I mean, Derek Carr just threw 430 yards against them.
That's true.
What do you think Pat Mahomes is going to fucking do on Sunday night?
Marcus Peters is gone too. So.
Marcus Peters, that's what I meant. Yeah. And that's like changed the entire complexion of that defense.
Reese Boyd, half PPR, need to start 2 of these. Tyson, J-Rob, now your mind's Rojo.
Oh, man, that's a tough spot to be in. I think Hines is like your best like safe bet, and then Tyson is kind of how I do this. I do Tyson, Hines. I mean, Rojo's intriguing. At first, they're like, he's the starter this week. And then they said, all 3 of our running backs are the starter. Now I went from like, okay, maybe you could stream Rojo and be okay with it to don't want to get it. Nope, no thank you. And guys, we're at 33 likes. If you haven't already, I'd love to get us up to 40. We got to 50 last time. We are getting to the question record again, which I love to see, but would love to keep bumping up the likes, dropping in other groups, get us out to more people. Let's continue rolling.
Marcos, Valdez, Scantling, Herbert, or Rodgers?
Got to go Herbert against the Cowboys. I mean, they are just so bad. I love the Rodgers setup against Detroit too, but give me Herbs.
Mark M. Deontay Johnson or Jarvis?
Deontay against the Raiders, yeah.
Dave Hall, Naeem Hines, or Elijah Mitchell? Full people.
Gotten that one a few times now, but I'm going to go Eli. I'm going to go for the upside there. You know, Hines, obviously the safer floor, going to get you like 9 to 15 at most, but go for the blow-up. Go for the Eli Mitchell.
Tunes was just asking about Godwin because if they go up early, doesn't think he'll have much of a chance if he doesn't score early.
I disagree with that narrative. I think Arians is just going to continue to pound him into the ground. So I think that Brady's going to chase records this year. I think Godwin does well because of it.
Dave Hall, Corey Davis, or Devontae, full PPR?
Corey Davis for sure. For me, definitely.
Todd, every one of you motherfuckers watching this fantasy gold should be smashing the like button.
You should. Thank you, Todd Exotic, for reminding the crew.
In a positive, proactive manner.
And it's a beautiful smile that you have there. Absolutely.
909 Orbits, week 2, boys. Flex one of these PPR, Callaway, Visca, or Sammy Watkins. Got a feeling Watkins might go for 100.
Revenge game narrative. I mean, it's blow potential, but I go Callaway. I'm feeling really good about Callaway 909. That being said, him and Watkins are kind of the same style of player. I just like Callaway better and that offense better. But Visca seems a little bit safer, I guess. I don't think so, though, to me. I'm going to go Callaway here. What are your thoughts, CJ?
It's after week 1, so Watkins is no longer relevant. I'm going Callaway.
Yeah. Once week 1's over, Watkins goes back into a cave somewhere.
Mark M. Never do their defense.
Never. Don't do it.
Mario Robb need 2 running backs to start. Javonte, Swift, and Elijah Mitchell.
Okay. I'm going to go Swift as the lock, and then I'm going to go Eli is what I would do here.
Fatty Mateo, are you down on Davis the rest of the season or just this week?
Definitely this week because Tampa Bay. I mean, they shut down Zeke. But I think in general, too, the offense didn't look good. He didn't really look good. It's just kind of a gross situation. I do think Arthur Smith could turn that thing around, so I'm not panic button yet. But I certainly am lower than I was entering the season.
Another Mitchell or Harris question.
A lot of these ones. I'm going to go Harris, though. I'm feeling better about Harris as the day's gone on. I'm going to go Mitchell. I'm going to go Harris. Feel great about Harris. I'm going to go Mitchell.
Tunes, Buffalo or Green Bay defense? Got to go Buffalo against Tua.
Buffalo. As our Mark M said, never Green Bay, never. That answers your question.
Tunes, Hurts, waiver wire, 10 minutes before kickoff last week.
Beautiful. I love
Boxer, bruh. Flex standard, Jamal Williams, Naeem Hines, or Jarvis Landry. That's tough because all these guys aren't standard league guys.
They're all PPR guys. I think Williams might be the best bet to score here. I'd probably go Landry, though. I think Landry has a good role in that offense this week.
Chris Biharo, Damien Harris, or Melvin Gordon?
Good matchup for both. I go Harris, though. I'm kind of shifting my tune on Harris. It's going to suck, though, because my prediction is J.J. Taylor's the one that ends up taking over this week. And if that happens and I balked on it and I didn't trust my gut, then I'm going to feel horrible. But I think Harris gets another shot, and he does well with it.
Boxer bra, in which tight end, Jared Cook or Jonnu?
I like Jared in the shootout. You're big on Jonnu today. I know your props are big on Jonnu.
Yeah.
Would you go him over Jared Cook?
I would. I'm going Jonnu today.
Oh, baby. We'll see. I go Cook. He goes Jonnu.
Big Papa, Eli Mitchell or Damien Harris?
Damien Harris. This is tough. Eli is just so tough to endorse. I need to see it. If we get 2 weeks of 20-plus carries, then I think we can really start feeling good. But Harris had 26 touches last week. That was no joke. And As long as he doesn't fumble that away this week, I think it kind of goes back to the well. Maybe 20-ish touches, but against the Jets, that's all he's going to need.
Big Papa, if you had to pick two of these half PPR, Hollywood Brown, Brandon Cooks, Cole Beasley, Mike Evans, Deontay Johnson. That's tough.
Deontay and Mike.
Guess it's not tough.
Yeah.
Ben Thompson, no Rashad Penny, and I have an empty bench spot. Alex Collins worth it.
I think he can do better than Alex Collins. I mean, go for it if that's all you got. But is KJ Hamler there? There's got to be better stashes. What's that?
Tim Patrick.
Yeah, Tim Patrick. JJ Taylor, honestly. If we're going really deep into the weeds, I'd rather see than Alex Collins.
Tunes, can the red rocket fall on his face? I can start putting Fields in my super flex.
I think we all want that, Tunes. We are all on board with that. And folks, again, as you're just getting in here, we're almost at 40 likes. Get us there. Hit that thumbs up button and help us get up to more people. Greatly appreciate it.
Trey Sermon, half PPR, Khalif Raymond versus Green Bay, or Mecole Hardman against Baltimore.
You're going deep. You are going deep, Trey. Raymond's actually questionable, and that's in a Monday night game, so I'll just go for Hardman and go for that Sunday night blow-up potential. What if Raymond doesn't play? What's the next best option there for you? If you're already thinking about using Khalif Raymond, you're probably in a bad spot. So I'd go Hardman there.
Sarah Riley, Eli, or Mike Davis?
Eli for me. That's one where it's definitely Eli.
Dylan Adams, drop Mooney for KJ Hamburger?
No, I'd see what Mooney does first.
I'm holding Mooney until Fields comes.
Me too.
Ben Thompson, Jalen Hurts showed up to the stadium in a highlighter yellow suit. He might throw for 500 today.
Very fair point. I love basing all my decisions on the pregame wear. A highlighter yellow suit. I want to see a picture of that.
Ethan Sharp, Devin Singletary, J. Rob, full point.
Rob. Rob, I guess now that Moss is back. The prop. Exactly. That crystal ball in the head tells you everything you need to know.
Brandon Uffman, love the show. Struggling with decisions in my flex spot. Half PPR, Jacoby, Chenault, or Ingram.
I'm gonna go Jacoby. Pretty easy for this one, Brandon. And appreciate your kind words.
Patty, Bobby Woods, or Julio Jones, PPR.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Bobby. It's tough, but I'm gonna go Bobby.
RTK, half PPR, Eli, Claypool, J. Rob, Tyson. Already starting Najee.
I'll probably go Mitchell here. I'm going to go for Eli Mitchell in this one.
Derek Just in full PPR, DJ Chark, Waddle, or Fournette. Already have Kamara, Sanders, and Hunt as running backs. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to go Waddle. I like Waddle the most of these options. That's where I lean.
Dylan Adams, I meant Denzel and put Debo. I don't remember.
Big difference. Denzel Mims versus Debo. Big difference. The question marks and exclamation points for Denzel Mims? Who gives a shit? The guy's been useless. Dylan Adams freaking us out over here.
Omar F, Devonta, or Chase, full PPR.
I'm going to go Chase. I'm big into Chase. And great to see you, Omar. Welcome to the show, as always.
RTK, half PPR. We just did that one.
Okay, yep.
Shades 721, standard scoring Higgins or Woods, also Damien or Mitchell at the flex.
The defending trivia champion, the one time we did trivia fantasy-wise, which was fun. It's a good time. Shades cleaned up. I'm going to go Woods, and I have them literally 23-24, Woods and Higgins, so that's tough. And then another Harris versus Mitchell. How is it lined up so perfectly that everyone's deciding between Harris, Mitchell, including you and me? I don't know. The world is weird. It's fantasy gods work in mysterious ways. I'm going to go Harris, though. That's where I've decided on, I think. I think Harris is a good reason to sit and wait and see what we have in Mitchell.
Ethan Henderson, Juju, or DJ Moore? DJ Moore.
I'm not usually a big DJ Moore fan, but in that one I would.
The GOAT, Tyler. Have you talked about Hollywood?
I did. Just real quick, he's questionable for tonight. You have to have a backup plan ready. If you can get Watkins, I feel a lot more comfortable waiting it out for him. He's 20% rostered right now, Sammy Watkins. Otherwise, I'd probably roll someone else. But I'd love to get Marquise Brown in a potential shootout tonight. I'd love that. So if you can get Watkins in a good backup plan, then I like waiting it out.
Ethan Sharps, Jalen Waddle, or Jamar? These rookie wideouts are so good.
Yeah, I go Jamar, though. I really like Jamar Chase.
Tunes, Callaway, Jamal Williams, Aiyuk, Sermon, Sheffield, Gainwell, White. Pick two.
Callaway, love him. And Jamal. I'm going to go with the two running backs there. Callaway. And James White's actually intriguing. White versus Jamal. I'd go Callaway, Jamal. think. I don't know. What do you think of that one, CJ? That's tough.
Callaway, Jamal. Yeah, Callaway, James White, I think. Yeah, I'm going James White and Callaway.
James White over Jamal? Yeah. I feel it. I feel that. And I have that. I have Jamal 26 and James White 28. Tough. I'm gonna go Callaway, Jamal Williams, though. Especially with Swift still questionable. Maybe we see Jamal Williams continue to have a little bit of a bigger role. And Jamal Williams, I guess we haven't put this out there. Revenge game, CJ. Green Bay, Jamal Williams.
That is true.
He didn't want to stick it to his old team there. So we didn't even think about that narrative yet. Let's go Jamal there.
Garrett Yonker, Standard League, J-Rob, Devonta Smith, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. Oh, yeah. Big time Mike Williams.
Zach O'Toole, Cup or Godwin at the flex.
Ooh, wow. That is tough. I love them both today. Man. I don't know. I think Cup might be the play there. He played 100% of the snaps. Robert Woods only played 68%, which is kind of a little bit disconcerting. Whereas Cup played all 100%. He has that great rapport forged. I have him 15 Cup, 16 Godwin. Can you get them both in? I know that's like a cop-out question, but that's hard to bench both those guys. But I'm going to go Cup, even though I had my Godwin Millie Maker dream the other night.
Would you stash Van Jefferson? Do you feel like he's going to be –
I talked about that on Thursday as stash and C receivers. I think he's one of the best ones. He actually ran more routes than Robert Woods last week. So, yeah, I mean, and he's kind of one of those rare receivers that has actual handcuffy upside. If something happens to Cup or Woods, he's in a very good offense and a very good spot. So I think he's definitely a nice stash and see for sure.
Speakeasy wants to collab soon.
You know where to find me. Roto Street Wolf on Twitter. Send me a DM or email at admin at rotostreetjournal.com. I'd love to collab.
He's feeling ballsy. I went Tim Patrick over Evans and Davis. I don't know about that.
That's a little too ballsy for me, my friend. I would not do that, but good luck. Go for it.
Omar, Kenyon Drake, or Tim Patrick for my second flex?
I'm going Timmy. I feel good about Tim, and I'm avoiding Drake might go over 2 touchdowns and make me look like a moron, but I don't want to trust a running back, but against that bad, very tough Steelers defense, not for me.
Which one is it? Mike Williams or Corey Davis?
I go Mike Williams. And I like Corey Davis, but Mims and Crowder being out doesn't really change anything in my opinion. I mean, sure, maybe a few more targets for Davis, but I like Davis. I'm going to go Mike Williams over him, though. Might start Davis now that Crowder's out. Yeah, I mean, you should over Tim Patrick. And then he's answering Omar's questions, speakeasy. I like that. Keep answering each other's questions. But I agree with Tim Patrick there.
Mike Clay, my concern with Corey is Belichick always takes away the best player in the opposite team. Corey Davis murders the Patriots.
Yeah.
The old Titans playoff games. It's been a while.
It's been, yeah, exactly. Yes, I get that, Mike, but I'm still going to roll him. I think he's going to put a couple up on us.
Bars in the tuck. Afternoon, happy week 2. Full PPR, pick 2. CEH, Damien Harris, Eli Mitchell, pick 2.
I think I'm benching Eli here. Again, if I don't have to rely on Eli Mitchell, I want to bench him and see what happens. And I know if he runs for 100 and a touchdown, and very, very possibly did it last week, could suck. I'm going to be pissed, but I'll just kind of know that's okay moving forward. If I have good options and I can see what happens with Eli, I'd like to do that because I am very nervous. It could be 5 carries, 10 yards. Sermon suddenly gets 20. Hasty. I don't know. That backfield is such a quagmire. The full workload reports. I don't know. I don't know that I buy into it yet. I don't.
Ethan Henderson, Mike Williams, DJ Moore, PPR.
I like Mike Williams more than DJ Moore. I think that's probably not consensus, but that's what I would do. And you probably would too, right, CJ?
I have the same in a league, and I went Williams over Moore. But I also have Herbert, so I wanted a little
money where the mouth is.
AJ Game, Deontay, Higgins, or Jacoby, PPR.
I like Higgins here. I go, Deontay. Especially full PPR. I'm going to go Deontay.
Speak easy, Tim Patrick or Corey Davis. So he's telling us he's played Tim Patrick now. He wants to know if you think that's right.
I'm going Corey Davis.
DFS play, should I flex Cup or AB?
Cup. And now, granted, if this is a GPP and you're trying to differentiate, Cup's going to be more popular. So Davis has pretty similar upside at much lower ownership. But if it's just who's the better play for price to price, it's Cup for me.
So I don't think he did this on purpose. It's the same typo all the way down. I think it just didn't send or something. For flex, Elijah Mitchell, Antonio Brown, or Corey.
Yeah, so I hope it's a typo. I hope that's a mistake because, Jay, here, this is the last time I'll answer your question if you ever try to pull this shit again. I'm guessing it's a mistake. So I'm going to go Antonio Brown there, but don't ever do this again, please.
8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11. I don't know if this is a mistake. Yeah, he's not.
This might just be a douchebag.
Yeah, I think he's an asshole. Let's block him. Derek Just, full PPR and flex, DJ Chark, Waddle, or Fournette already have Kamara, Sanders, and Hunt as running backs, blah, blah, blah. I think we already answered that.
You asked this one on YouTube, Derek. We chastised you last week, Derek, about asking, don't try to sneak it in multiple places. We're going to get to your questions. You were better this week, so letting this one slide, but come on now.
David
I passed over. This is what happens when assholes like Jay Herr comment a million times. I forget that Danny Jennings even said good morning. Good morning, Denny. We fucking love you. Good to see you. Happy PR. Let's get to it.
Fournette, Gainwell, James White, or Marcus Callaway, half PPR.
Callaway for me, baby. And if you wanted something safer, then James White's the safer option, but give me Callaway.
Damien Harris or Jamal Williams for David.
Damien Harris for me.
Brandy Martin, half PPR, Edmonds or Singletary.
Welcome back to the show, Brandy. I go Edmonds there for sure. I'm not big into Singletary with Moss back.
Joel Abutin, Corey Davis, Jamar.
Love Jamar. Going Jamar this week.
And Savvy, Edmonds or Elijah Mitchell, full PPR.
Like Edmonds, and that's a good reason to see what happens with Elijah Mitchell.
Brandon Carr, Corey Davis or DJ Moore.
27-28, another one of those ones. I think I'm bumping Davis ahead of Moore, though, today. I'm going to do that right now.
I'm going Moore.
You go Moore, I'm going Corey.
Nat the Truth Jones, T. Higgins and Mike Williams.
That's tough. I go T. What do you think?
Mike Williams.
24-25 for me right there. You guys are making this tough. I go T. He goes Mike. Mike has probably the higher ceiling, to be honest, truth. So that's a tough one. And now that we see the truth up here, reminds me, post-game show, 7:30 tonight. Be there, folks, if you want to see our recap, early look at the waiver wire, biggest, most important stat lines, and the MVP and LVP of the day. Come on down for the recap show before Sunday Night Football kicks off.
Jose Sierra, full PPR, Deontay Higgins, AB, Devonta Smith, Gaskin. Choose three.
Lock in those first three, Deontay, Higgins, and AB.
William Giannadas, having to pick between Edmonds or Mitchell this week at flex, half PPR.
That is a tough one, but I'm going to go Edmonds myself. Not quite the ceiling, but a better floor. So I'm going to go him.
Omar Rappaport says Eli Mitchell to carry the load today versus Philly.
We saw that, and as you say, for what it's worth, I don't know how much it's worth because of Shanahan just being always full of shit.
Quinn Hartman, AB, T. Higgins, or Jarvis, half PPR.
I like AB here. I'm going to go AB. And you start Godwin, that kind of changes a little bit maybe, but I like AB still. My next one would be T. Higgins if you really want to differentiate, but I go AB.
Tunes just to piss you off. Boyd, Marvin Jones, Cole Beasley, Jarvis Landry, Red Rocket, sit one.
Sit Red Rocket.
Keith, Jacoby or Waddle at the flex, full PPR.
Jacoby for me, for full PPR especially.
Omar F, AB or Debo, full PPR.
You already have Kittle in the lineup. Ooh, this is tough.
Probably go AB there.
I have AB 18, Debo 19. We're going AB.
Logan Lawrence, Joe Burrow or Herbert? Gotta go Herbert.
I like Herbert for sure. I'm going to go Herbert there. I think we're getting close, CJ. We got 15 minutes. We got about 20. No, we can get through these, I think. Never mind. Let's keep rolling.
Not sure what Jamal Williams interview, but
it was great. You got to watch that one. You'll crack up. It's funny.
Alfred Natoli, start 3 PPR, J. Rob, Javonte Williams, Eli Mitchell, Damien Harris, Callaway, Mooney. Thanks.
I'm going to go Harris. I'm going to go Eli. I'm going to go Callaway. That's how I rank those guys.
Zach O'Toole, Devontae Adams, and Keenan Allen at wide receiver 1-2. I wish I could sit one of them for Cup or Godwin.
You can't sit either of those guys, though. Not against Dallas and Devontae, obviously against Detroit. He's in your lineup.
Jordan Householder, Melvin Gordon or Corey Davis?
That's a good one. I'm going to go Corey Davis myself, but that's a good one.
Danny Jennings, Sermon's looking good in warmups.
Good to know. I'm telling you, it's such a nerve-wracking situation.
Eric Schaefer, pick 2, Drake, Edmonds, or Tyson.
I'm benching Drake there myself.
Full PPR if that matters.
It doesn't. I'm benching Drake there. It helps out Edmonds the most. And I think Tyson's a better bet for some points than Drake myself.
Mr. Grapefruit, would you start either buffalo chicken dip or taco dip?
Love them both. I'm a big buff chick dip, though. I'm going to go buff chick there.
Matthew Weiler, morning.
Morning. It's crazy to me that some of you guys are catching this like in the morning. It's AM games. That's what I text like Lewis and people in California. Like, oh yeah, the AM games. How nice would that be to like wake up at 9 a.m. and have games on? I would love that. What a great one.
Abdul Dekite, full PPR, Jamal Williams or Elijah.
With a lot of exclamation points. I'm going to go Elijah Mitchell as well. Exclamation point.
Tunes, drop Sherfield or Gainwell.
He's going to be a nobody soon. He was annoying in week 1, but you're gonna drop him soon.
Danny Jennings has been at the game drinking since 9 o'clock a.m.
I love that. I love the guys that tune in, like Mitch and Denny. They're at the game. They're getting wrecked, and they still come out to support the crowd. I love it. Man.
I know. I want to see the setup. You just take a picture and send us the setup.
Send us what it looks like, Denny. Let's see your tailgate setup. Maybe we'll post it tonight.
Does Denny have a shirt? We need to get it at the Eagles game.
Yeah, that's true.
Johannes Sanchez. Thanks, Wolf.
You're welcome. Did you ask a question, Johannes?
I don't think so.
Welcome. I appreciate the thank yous. And guys, we're 1 like away from 40. Somebody get us over the edge. Get us over the hump. Let's get over 40 likes, please.
Steve Shellhammer, flex, Melvin Gordon, Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. I love Chase. I really, really like Chase.
Quinn Hartman, thank you. Now flex, half PPR, CEH, Jarvis, T. Higgins.
CEH. I think CEH. What do you think on that one? Is it T? Is it CEH?
I'm going CEH. He had a ton of snaps last week. I'm going CEH.
Yeah, I'm going to go CEH too.
Arturo Rios, PPR, start 1. Tunyon, Komet, or Everett.
I like
Tunyon. Did Everett do anything last week?
He got a touchdown, but not much after that. And that's going to be his role. He's going to be a nice red zone body for him. Komet, 55 snaps compared to 17 for Graham. Loved that. But Tunyon against Detroit, I got to go with it. That's where I'm leaning.
Renzo, standard pick 1, Aiyuk, Ingram, MBS.
This is one of the rare ones where it might be worth just tossing Aiyuk in there and seeing what happens. Yeah, I'm going to go Aiyuk.
Zach O'Toole, love the show. Keep it up.
Thank you, O'Toole. And anybody else that's tuned in, we really appreciate your kind words. I love it. We certainly will be keeping it up. And if you like the show but you haven't already, we're trying to bump those subs up, trying to get that bell on so you know when we're going live. So, yeah, thank you so much, Zach. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, follow us on YouTube if you can. Very important.
Absolutely. All you Facebook people. There's going to come a day where we might just go full-time YouTube. So try to find us there as well. If you're a regular on Facebook, I think we're going to be moving over there at some point soon.
Fausto, Leon Sanchez, A-Rob, Carson, Justin Jefferson, pick 2, full PPR.
Oh, Fausto. We have like 2 questions left. You got to make me bench one of these 3? I don't know. Maybe I love Carson today, but like those 2 receivers in full PPR, how do you bench either of those guys, And both looking like potential point factory games. But Carson's such a good fucking play too. I don't know. Fausto, you asshole, coming in late, giving us this type of question. Give me a headache this late. Love you, Fausto. I think I bench Carson here, full PPR. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah.
Maybe Robinson with the Red Rocket still lingering around? Like,
I don't know.
I think
Jefferson's the lock, obviously, but
kind of though, is he? Like he had the worst of these the week. I know Rob's had the worst week, but he faces Atlanta. I mean Arizona, a lot of points there. I'm going to bench Carson. Who do you bench?
I'll follow you into the into the fire.
Follow me to hell.
Omar F, you guys rule. Thanks for the advice as always. By the way, Truly Iced Tea is my go-to. About to stock up.
Yeah,
just got some yesterday.
Kindred spirits, Omar and CJ over there. Some good peeps.
Tunes, switch to YouTube to get you another like.
That's the commitment we know and love. Love you, Tunes. And again, just pumping, like if you're on Facebook, we might eventually be moving full-time to YouTube, given our Facebook reach has really dwindled. I don't know why, but it has. So we're trying to really kind of go all in on YouTube. That's going to be a switch that might happen this year.
It's easier anyways, just talking in it. It's like it's a cleaner chat. Everything
much better system, yeah.
Omar F just ran over to Facebook to give you that 30th like.
The commitment of the pack. I love them. I love you guys. You guys are the best.
And then our last one right now, Jose Vega, pick 1 running back in a flex. Miles Sanders, Hunt, Gordon, Julio, Kirk.
I got to go Julio. I'm going to go Sanders over Hunt. And I think I go Julio in the flex, but I do really like Hunt today. I think I'm going Sanders and Julio. I'm banking on a good Julio rebound. What do you think, CJ?
I do love Julio this week. I'm gonna go.
It's tricky to bench too.
I do love Hunt this week. I'm going Hunt Julio.
Hunt Julio. So you don't like Sanders, huh?
I think I just hate him because you're a Sanders guy and you're trying to make us into Sanders people.
Quickly became a Sanders guy as soon as I drafted him. And he got me 18 last week. I like him.
That's true.
Looking good. So I'm going Sanders and Julio myself. CJ goes Hunt and Julio. Honestly, if you wanted to go Sanders and Hunt, that wouldn't be a bad option. I don't think I'm going to go Gordon. And Kirk I love, but over those guys, it would be really tough to pull off. So thank you, Jose. Good question.
Week 2, let's go. Blah, blah, blah.
Does anything get you more excited than a let's go from CJ right there? The riveting emotion, the enthusiasm. It's contagious. Woo!
I'm also trying to put my prop bets in right now.
Okay. I can wrap these up while you're getting those.
No, it's fine.
Allison
Muccini, Myers or Davis?
I'm going to go Corey Davis there. I do love Myers today. I really do, especially full PPR. But Davis is tough to bench after that first big week. And I don't think he's going to get shut down this week either. I don't think our secondary is good enough. All righty, guys. Well, thank you guys so much. As I was saying earlier, we will be back live tonight, right after Red Zone, 7:30 p.m. If you want to come for the recap, the early waiver wire looks, recapping all the action, all the lessons you need to learn with a rapid reaction. We're usually quite a few deep, which also makes for some entertaining banter as well. If you have any sit-start questions for later tonight, too, we'll be there. All righty. Anything that I forgot to pump, CJ? GroceryJournal.com, reading feed wolves.
Grocery Journal.
Find our stuff everywhere there.
Good website to read. YouTube, Instagram, YouTube. Those are the two we're really focusing on right now.
The fantasy fullback guy, we paid that path to 2021 titles. Be tuned next week. We have some exciting partnership news. We're making some big moves, baby. So we're excited to announce some big stuff next week. So come back on. Thank you guys again so much for your support in that world full of fantasy sheep. Be the wolf. Best of luck in week 2, guys. Later.
See ya.